Well, hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. Araya on Raw coming to you live here, known as the Dragon phone call right when you're going into something. So, hello. I'm just going to start and dive in very gently. Hello, Paul. Good to see you. Uh, I'm sitting in a space where every week I never necessarily know where I'm going to go with the talk, with the energies. I tune in that morning and I feel the energies and I feel the dragon that wants to speak and share. And sometimes I'm taken by surprise because it aligns with other things or pieces of information that have come. And in this moment, as in other times, I have something rising within, which is I don't know, it's not necessarily a download, but there's a ball of information. There's this building energy within me as I started connecting into today's live. And honestly, I was thinking about doing mini dragon readings. Wasn't really sure there was something necessarily a question to answer. But as I sit within the energy and was called immediately first by the Obsidian dragon again, which we had a couple weeks ago, I found it interesting to feel it getting deeper and deeper, that there's this presence coming within. And so you're going to start feeling through this today, this energy transferring, as we've talked about before, where my field as Tana, and you'll see my eyes shifting as Tana, where the field starts to feel tangible around you, where you're being brought into and receiving through a transference of energy from the sphere that I'm sitting within. For those that are on the live here, for everybody watching live, and for those that are going to catch on the replay. So everybody that's connected to that group sphere, and they're going to feel those threads out. They're going to feel those that have that dragon connection, and their guides are going to say, you need this information. You're going to need this energy completion point. And so they'll be led to draw and watch the replay, or somebody will share it with them, and maybe they haven't seen it before, but it's the perfect thing. So I'm sitting in that space and just want to share with it, and amazing the amount of presence. So you guys know how often I forget the microphone, or I forget to make sure the volume is all the way up on the phone. Sometimes when we have great energy coming, we have those little distractions that try and pull it away, like a bad internet signal, or like a phone call trying to come in right away. And nothing is going to pull us off of this energy train. I can feel it building, and it's about coming to a completion point. There's a merge point, and this is about preparation for you guys with the dragon energies, receiving them, working with them, and allowing this next week to continue building within yourself for this completion point. So looking out ahead of us to next Monday is June 6th, 2022, and there's, which also adds up to another 6. And then 6622 if you just keep however you format a date, or 2266 if you're in Europe, or 6622, sorry. But within that, there's a very powerful alignment happening that day. And without going into detail, I was not expecting this energy to be broadcast out for everyone's preparation for it. And this has to do with the Black Pearl. So in history of our lives, in watching my information for the last 4 years, some of you may have recalled the journey. If I believe I shared it, about the pearl, Gaia's pearl, being returned to her while we were in Tibet with a group of dragons and dragon hearts that I took over to Tibet in the fall of 2019. So I find it very interesting. My whole body's chilling on this, so I'm excited to see what unfolds here as we share. The fall of 2019, and I came back very, very sick from China and Tibet, was the precursor. Just before that was September, October, before everything sort of started blowing apart with this game changer that started in March of 2020, right, globally. So I'm finding it interesting even now that that's being brought back to mind, because that was the completion point, with the white pearl being returned to Gaia, her Akashic records being restored, her remembrance of who she was. And we're all trying to regain that. We're connecting to our dragon to reconnect to our pearl. Our dragon carries a pearl that holds your Akashic records. And for most of us on the journey, and for Gaia, our black pearl aspect has been kept veiled from us, or it hasn't been something we've been ready to go in, because the black pearl would hold your your hidden or your dark Akash, the Akashic records of those things that maybe you're not so proud of, maybe were horrendous things where you were in control, or creating mass genocide, or harming others in any way, gentle abuse within a family. Those are all soul lessons, and they're all part of the completion. And for moving towards our completion point and our move into merge and union, into our divine union state, back to wholeness, back to through the veil complete knowing of who we be, we have to reincorporate those pieces. So we've had the black dragon coming and waking that up within us, working with our shadow, helping us see our traumas and our patterns specifically in this lifetime. And in this lifetime, when we actually get those keys to understanding why we created trauma, why we were involved in abusive situations, or were abusers, or whatever the piece that has held you sort of captive to not being free, held you captive with deep rage and anger, those pieces are not just from this lifetime. And this is where the Obsidian Dragon takes us into the bigger revelation of what's within our black pearl, what's within our Akash. And my whole body's tingling on that. So this is about everyone coming into awareness that you do hold a black pearl as well. And I've always found it interesting that black pearls on the planet have historically and typically been found only in Tahiti. That unless they've been seeded or man created, that the natural black pearls were all found in Tahiti. Well, that is where the heart of the black dragon in the Pacific, the male black dragon who's in the southern Pacific, sits over those islands. And there's probably other places that have volcanic rock where the oysters would create those black pearls, but I found it an interesting infusion of information and energy that's the one place in the world, and it's always connected to the black dragon, coming into the remembrance of, all right, what's within my black pearl. And now even realizing, wow, I have a pearl as a dragon. And what's interesting as well is the black and the white pearl pieces are, while we're here in the completion point moving into union, they're still part of the 3D playout, or the 3.9D playout, until we're actually elevated into 4D, which is why the Obsidian Dragon and the, I would say the Opalite or the Opal Dragon is connected to that on the white side and the black side, because they're the deep earth dragons. They're the ones closest to the crystalline core. They're the ones that have the seed point of energy at that first point of movement away from 5D, away from a higher dimensional realm. When we dropped into density, when we dropped into that splitting of energies, that it slowly brought out, and at the widest point, it was the black and white holding it. But it was those higher frameworks of their own lineage, of the obsidian and the opalite, or the opal, that were holding that pattern. And so here, as we come into completion, we bring those ends of those spectrums together as we move into our completion point in our journey, and hold where those come together. Most of us need the most work with our shadow, with that obsidian dragon, that deep, deep reflection that goes beyond the trauma point, beyond the healing of the shadow, because most of you have done a lot of work with the shadow. If you haven't, the black dragon is sitting and waiting and inviting you into that. But when you move that next level beyond that into the obsidian, into the deep space within, and there's a great description of that if you have your deck, in the little guidebook, about that gratitude piece that the Obsidian Dragon holds for you to move into the reflection point where you can see all the traumas and realize and have gratitude that all of those, what seemed negative or horrendous or hard situations in life, were purposeful, that you created them, that you designed them on a soul level to bring you to where you are now. So what I find interesting today is that the Obsidian Dragon is holding this framework for us to come into the reflection and the knowing, the remembrance of the black pearl piece, because the black pearl and the white pearl streams of energy that are our Akash, as they come together, are going to be fusing and creating that union state for our completion point. So this is why I feel like the energies are building and readying you for something that's going to occur either on or subsequent to the June 6th framework that is coming next Monday. That's a marking point. It's a not a point of no return, but it's a marking point of moving past what you might consider like lower framework thinking and allowing yourself to open to. And I know that all the energies that the Obsidian Dragon is holding today are allowing you to move into that gratitude circle within, to reflection of rather than pain point, and to release all the pain. Let the dragons take the pain away. Let the black dragon pull that out of you so that the Obsidian Dragon can really reflect with you. And the Obsidian Dragon's qualities, if you sit with, and this is also in the deck, the stillness, the alchemy, and the completion. And that is definitely what I'm feeling coming up. There's a completion point coming up. And any of these, you know, I always have these canvases on the wall because they hold that energy. And so to have that in your space, it's powerful. And I think there's been a lot of shift for me in just having, I have like 25 of the canvases on this wall so that they can all speak to me when they need to be in the frame and be holding within the sphere. So why do I have the Moon Dragon today? The Moon Dragon is a close reflection frequency of that opalite. It's the closest that I had on canvas to hold the translucent quality. And so I'm going to hold up, I'm wearing the newest raw obsidian. This is a new pendant that I got coming off of it, and I know it belongs to someone, and someone in my upcoming Andara class may grab it up before I get it. The raw obsidian I had not considered, and it was presented as an option when I ordered the new Andaras. So this, yeah, 2022 is a 6666 dark energies, absolutely. But I love that you brought that in, Paul, because the dark energies, when we think about 666, everyone thinks, you know, Satan, evil, devil, and we shy away from it. We push it away. We sort of hold it at bay like this, right? Like there's a lot of, and we have to remember and take back all of our symbology. So any symbolism, any numerology has been used by the dark agendas for its own purposes, like the pentagram. It's been inverted and used in dark magic practices for eons, and we are claiming those back. We actually corrected, it was about 2 years ago in a Dragonheart Circle deep meditation work down with parts of South Africa and the Black Dragon, and inverted that back to its normal, its upright position, so that the dark magic couldn't be used on it anymore. And so as we reclaim our symbols, wow, my whole body's tingling on this, Paul. So great point that you brought in for me to bring in. When we come into this 666 on Monday, we've got June 6, 2022, which is another 6. That energy is about us reclaiming the black pearl within ourselves, and that inversion, that bringing to light of day, that bringing back up into the powerful magic that it is, into unification, no longer being used with that dark agenda. It's weird, the word that's coming, fragrance, is an interesting word, because what is a fragrance? It's a scent that carries energy. It's like a fragrance in the ethers that dark agenda has used that 666 as a real negative, as a real like, and when we come into full embrace, when we come into full union, it's not about embracing that darkness and using it. It's about bringing it back into the fold so that it can see its own light. Because when the black pearl gets inverted and we bring it back into the light, all that light, that divine light shining on both the white and the black pearl, is what allows the merge, the re-immersion back into crystalline, back into silica form, which is what is happening in our bodies as we move from carbon, which is what? Carbon is the black framework. Carbon is like charcoal, right? It's graphite, it's pencil lead, it's the dark stamp of that elementally, that when we bring it into its higher octave is that obsidian and that ability to have translucence and reflect. So holding the space for that merge back in, the reclaiming of that energy and bringing it in. So I was led to put this on and just hold its framework. I can feel the Obsidian Dragon working through it for the whole transference of energy into the sphere. And this being one of those is like, wow, powerhouse if you know you need to work with the Obsidian Dragon. But also the Opilite. So holding these together, we've done a lot of work with the White Dragon lineage. We've done some moving up into the Opilite frequency bandwidth. And if you look at the stones, so in the book, in The Dragon Within, If you don't have it yet, dragonwithin.com. You'll see all the possibilities for print or digital format. But in that, the black dragon, who is a lower octave energetically, he's very close to our elemental framework, holds carborundum as his stone to connect with. What is carborundum? It's a black I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to say 100% because I'm not scientific based, but I'm feeling right now the information coming. It's a carbon base. It's like volcanic rock, but it reflects like a rainbow on all of its facets. And the white dragon, who's his counterpart, same thing, very close to that 3D elemental level, sitting between that and the crystalline octave. The white dragon holds opal as her stone. So opal being that, the opalite being that higher frequency. And if you hold this, you can see all of the rainbow colors that reflect through opalite. And interestingly, I have 2 of these left in the layer that if you know this is calling you, it's there for you. But these pendants holding that framework, this is about the time coming into this completion point, coming into the merge where we are ready to go crystalline. And the doorways are opening to that, I feel very strongly, after this 666 merge point where the veil gets lifted and we get to see the truth of our black pearl. So you might not feel it as, well, I'm in my union state, I'm lifted into my light body, but you're going to feel that in moments. You're going to feel that process beginning. And as you move into it, you're going to feel, instead of any of the shadow work that the black dragon held, you're going to start feeling where that black piece moves into its higher octave with the obsidian. And those deep reflective moments, those deep inner sanctuaries where you can find the gratitude, find the peace, and feel the alchemy. So what does the obsidian dragon hold again? And you know what I love too is these dragons, I don't always get to work directly with them a lot until it's their time. And so when I brought the deck through, when everything about the deck came through in a very short framework, I was waiting, and finally, like, over a period of a couple of weeks, they all wanted to speak. And they gave me their keywords. And it's only now in sitting in this place that I actually comprehend sometimes when their energy is present in the world and it's really ready to go out en masse and be worked with, that the terms make sense. So stillness, alchemy, and completion. That's speaking volumes to me right now of what it actually means, even though it's been a year. It was a year ago, August, that the book came out, or it was a year and a half ago, January, that I actually had the information come through, and then the whole printing process took its time. But in this, the stillness is moving within, that alchemy is allowing the black and the white pearls to actually come together for that point of completion so that we can move through that inversion. And some of you have heard me say this before in some of my classes. The 0 point doorway that we are moving through in our ascension process, it's not an ascension process of, going up to the clouds and lifting up energetically this way. It's literally being turned inverted inside out through the spaces in between, where your 0 point doorways are within your being, because you're going to find that everything you knew or understood was actually the inversion, and the truth is what gets revealed as we believe it to be right now, the inversion, but it's actually being righted. We're being righted through that doorway. So as we come through that, that's the alchemy. That's the completion point where those pieces come together and we're at that framework of energy where it's going to start happening. So holding space for that within yourself, starting in particular, this whole week is readying you for it. How interesting that they're bringing to my attention. Pay attention. This live here on a Tuesday, this 666 doorway is on Monday. It's 6 days of preparation. You have 6 days of preparation with this energy to work with. I would be calling in the Obsidian Dragon. If you have a deck, pull it, hold it, feel it. If you have any obsidian stones around you in your home, or go to a crystal shop and get an obsidian stone so that you can actually really hold that in your sphere. Use these next 6 days to your advantage to move into that alchemy of the completion point, to benefit from and just receive. And If you can't get to any of those, everything that's coming through this transference of energy today, as I'm speaking, I can feel it. The sphere is just building and holding, and there's so much energy within it. So this is about you having a little heads up, you having 6 days of preparation time of, all right, am I going to find my point of stillness? Am I going to sit within gratitude for everything that I see and hold myself in that, so that the Obsidian Dragon can actually show me those deeper lessons and let it come into place for me, so that I can move into my merge point. Because as we move forward, the greater and greater ability to hold our light body in is going to keep stabilizing. It's interesting to feel the importance of this doorway, not having really like expected this information or expected all of this ahead of time. Hello, Deborah, good to see you, and Jackie. So moving into this, I'm seeing now a reason for stillness, a reason why I'm actually set up to go and spend 4 days at Lake Tahoe, which is a sacred space on the beach there in stillness, to soak up that energy, to have the space in my being, to soak up the sun's rays, to allow my light body to come in, to allow my cells to start making that shift internally and just receive. So can you find some time either in this week of preparation or next week, from Monday forward, to have that time to regroup within yourself, to let these dragons come together? And the Opilite dragon is not in the deck. You could call the moon dragon if that's your most familiar, or use that in the deck, but the Opilite dragon is also going to be present, even though she's not in the deck. That energy will be around you, and you may feel like opals drawing you, or actual opalite stones. Hold them together in your space. What that tells me, and what she's speaking now, is that the Opilite dragon does not have as much of a task load, because those of us on this journey have remembered our higher light aspect sooner. That we've already not ingested, but integrated the majority of the energies of the Opilite dragon as we were working through the white, because we're on a light worker pathway. Those of you that are opening up to your light worker self, that are already on this path for quite some time, that know your dragon, know about the dragons, and you're listening to this, you're part of that extended workforce, task force that is here on the planet to be doing that. So you may need some direct Opilite. One of you may feel like, wow, I need that around me with an actual pendant. But the Opilite dragon is saying, the space I hold is already present within the field. The obsidian is the one that needs to come out of the shadows. It needs to come from behind the veil, that you have to call it forth, so that we can actually meet and merge within that alchemy, to come into that completion point. And you may have that black pearl aspect. If you've seen your dragon's pearl, or you've worked with the white pearl, maybe you haven't, and you'll see them both come into your meditations or your field. Those are the two sides of your Akashic records. They hold a completion point, and when you actually have the completion point of your own pearl, you will see your pearl glimmer and exude its own shimmer of color. So it may be a bluish green, it may be pinkish, opalescent, it may be yellowish, maybe golden, maybe red. Your dragon's pearl that holds all of its Akash, you may have even seen it and wondered, well, my pearl is a brilliant shimmering red. Why is that not white or black? It's because that's the merge point. That's your dragon showing you, this is where you're headed. This is what I hold with all of the Akash. And that is where, when they come back in together, you're going to see your pearl revealed. And if you haven't seen your own dragon yet, there was a desire quite a while back. I just found my list of topics for many classes that people would like to see, and so I'm going to start designing the next one. Probably going to be on how do we use dragon energies for healing, that Dana put in quite a while back. But that energetic coming into wholeness within self with the pearl, and coming to a knowing of self, there was a big question of, how do we connect with our own dragon? And some of you watching this, because you're new to the journey maybe, are like, I can feel other dragons, but I can't feel my own yet. I know it's there, but I can't sense or see it. You might get a hint or information about your higher dragon self by the pearl actually coming to completion first and it being revealed to you. The color of your pearl as the black and white pearls merge might give you that insight. So it's interesting too. I'm feeling maybe I need to find some space to record a meditation to have those pearls merge. We'll see if that comes together. But this is powerful. This is a powerful week. It'll be exciting to touch in with you guys next Tuesday. And actually, if I'm going to be at the beach, I might take next Tuesday off. So we'll see. I might feel inspired to do a live from there. If you don't see me, you'll know why. But it will mean that there's a point of stillness, alchemy, and completion that everybody needs. So with that, and that's interesting too, they're showing me that 6 days later, wow, I hadn't even considered this. So let me look at that. It's actually 5 days later. So on the 6th, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if I start with Monday, on the 6th day of that energy, I am actually holding the Andaran Dragons class. So I feel like that is definitely timed to be in the completion point of that energy, because the Andaran Dragons are going to be able to take things up a whole bunch of octaves. So if you haven't seen the information for that yet, I will post it again in the description. I'll add it to the description of the video for you to have handy. Amazing groups come together for that. I think we're almost 20 already in the class. And that's going to be powerhouse, because every person that adds into that adds an exponential amount, in addition to the exponential amount that the Andaran Dragons come. And I am going to have a whole new set of Andaran Dragon Pendants that may call any of those that are in the class. They will have first option at them based on the order that they sign up for the class, and a discount, 10% discount on any of the new pendants. And I will have new, I will actually, if those all go to the right people, I have a new set of stones that I'm looking at that may be for the rest that are really wanting one. So not yet. I'm just reading here. Deborah saying not yet merged or know my dragon, so looking forward to connecting. Absolutely. And this piece of, watch for that in your meditations, because you're not the only one, Deb. Watching for that in your meditations of inviting any of the dragons that you can connect with. So maybe you can connect with the earth dragon. Maybe you can connect with the air dragons. Whichever one you connect easily with, have that dragon, invite that dragon to either show you where your pearl is, or bring you your pearl, or let you know information about it as to why you don't have it back yet, or if you can access it. Ask them what comes up in your heart about that. Great way to dive into that journey of connecting more directly with your own dragon self. So, wow, really excited about the information that's come through today. Definitely unexpected. Waking up today, it was unexpected until for some reason I went and I said, all right, what's going on in today's live? And the Obsidian dragon literally across the room, I had this, the tray of the new ones. He's sitting with the Andaran Pendants, so I know that he's been communicating and talking with them, and it's like, oh, we're all prepping for next week. He started speaking so loudly, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go put this one on. And he said, no, it's me, it's Obsidian. I need to be there. So really interesting to feel that, to feel the presence of the sphere very predominant. And I would say the tag word that you might want to hold on to for this week is alchemy. Let alchemy be your guide stone for this week, your energetic imprint that you allow to be within your field, inviting alchemy in, holding gratitude for alchemy, because it's that alchemical process that's going to move you into completion. So that's super exciting. Wow, getting really excited about that. All of next week, starting Monday, having a break on the sacred waters of Lake Tahoe, and then being able to teach an Andaran Dragon class. It's going to be an incredible powerhouse week. So many blessings to you guys. I may or may not see you on Tuesday, but for those that are in the class, I will definitely see you on Saturday the 11th. That's at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard for an hour and a half. We're going to rock with the energies there, so I'm excited. All right. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for being there. I love my dragon family, and I love being able to share this information, these truths, this way of living and being. My whole body's tingling on this with those in my dragon family, because it's what's going to change our world into the new earth. And as you see the chaos happening around, as you know it's there and you're holding space for it, the greatest thing you can do is move into your light body. There will be many that are not moving forward. They're choosing regenesis. They're choosing to stay in a 3D realm. That's their soul's journey and choice, and it's okay, and it's loving to hold space for that. And you may become the guides moving forward from the fifth dimensional or higher realms that serve them to help waken them over the next 26,000 year cycle. So know that the chaos of the world does not need to suck you into it. Let yourself stand apart from it, embrace it lovingly, but hold your autonomy, hold your sovereignty. Dominion is the key element of 5D. Dominion is your own sovereignty, taking your own sovereignty and stand back because you're a merged, unified, divine union being, holding on to your light body, merge with your light body. And that's where you're going to start to see the shifts happening around you, where all of a sudden the fabric of those worlds, and I think I talked about this about 3 weeks ago, the fabric of those worlds, there is a bifurcation, and as space gets created, there's not a ripping apart. It's the space that gets created in the higher new earth realm, in that 5D quantum field, that allows the other to just fall away because of the spaciousness, that the density and those that are gripping and clinging, that is part of the 3D energy framework, it just falls away. You just feel it slipping away. You might feel like you're becoming invisible. You might feel like parts of your life are becoming invisible, or that you can't hold on to things. Yeah, I'm so glad. Me too. I got lots of body tingles. We call them FBGs, full body goosies, in my Dragonheart group. And I love that. I think that's an original term from South Africa. Because I have a couple. I have a Dragonheart from South Africa in every one of the years that I've done the program. And there's so much energy with that black dragon female being held there. So many things awakening up that whole Nilotic meridian. I've been starting to work with the white lion energies, part of the heart pride there. It's just incredible to watch the connections that are starting to be formed as we move forward. So let them unfold in your life. I will either see you guys next week or the week after, or in my Andara Dragons class. Looking forward to that. Have a great week, everybody. Much love to you. Really appreciate my dragon family. Bye for now.